What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race 6 for the 2024 Pennzoil 250. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This week in the NASCAR Xfinity Series makes its longer-awaited return to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The last time we ran at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the oval, we saw Kyle Busch pick up his 4th Xfinity win at this racetrack. He will not be back this time around, as he'll be completely focused on competing in the NASCAR Cup Series race, trying to turn his season around. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into picks. But before I go ahead and jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend is actually looking extremely promising. It's going to be 83 degrees high with 63 degrees with only a 10% chance of rain with mostly sunny skies. Going to be some really nice weather headed out to the racetrack. Going to be a little warm around that low 80 area, but the weather should clear up and it should get better as day progresses and goes on, as the race will be happening in the middle till late afternoon. So now, let's go ahead and jump into picks. For those who are new to the channel, here's how picks work. I do 2 suck picks, 2 drivers I expect to struggle throughout the weekend and will not have a good run this weekend at Indianapolis. I do 2 underdog picks, 2 drivers who really need a good run, who I think will have a good run, or are pretty good at this type of track and under fun equipment. And I do my winner's pick, the driver I think is going to win the race overall. And I do the drivers you need to watch out for. And usually for the Xfinity Series, I got 4 drivers you need to watch out for. But because we're headed and returning to Indianapolis, I've got 5 drivers you need to watch out for, along with the race winner. So now, let's go ahead and jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for the 2024 Pennzoil 250? My first suck pick for this week in Indianapolis is a driver of the 15 car for AM Racing, Josh Berry. Josh Berry, to my understanding, does not have any experience at this racetrack. I think the last time they ran here, he never ran at this racetrack. And AM Racing has not been good at all this year. They've only had 1 top 10 finish overall, that coming with Joey Logano. Last week at Pocono, Josh Berry was behind the wheel of the 15. Of course, Haley Deegan no longer driving for the team. He really struggled because he had a couple laps down after, unfortunately, having a few flat tires on the car. I think Josh Berry, unfortunately, will struggle this week, and I don't think the pace and speed is going to be there. I sadly think Josh Berry will, unfortunately, not run well this weekend at Indianapolis. My second suck pick for this weekend at Indianapolis is a driver in the 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Joe Graf Jr. Joe Graf Jr. is making his first Xfinity start with Joe Gibbs Racing this year, and I don't expect much from him, unfortunately. The 19 car has been a little bit inconsistent, has not won so far this year, and generally when Joe Graf Jr. has driven for JGR going back to last year, he did not run well. I think he only got 1 or 2 top 10s in like the 10 or 11 races he ran last year. I think he's going to struggle, unfortunately. I think he finishes outside the top 10 or top 15. I don't expect him to have the pace and speed. I unfortunately think he will not run well, and I think he will sadly struggle this weekend at Indianapolis. And now we'll go ahead and jump on the underdog picks for the Pennzoil 250. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick for this week in Indianapolis is a driver of the 97 car for Colleague Racing, Shane Van Gisbergen. I think Shane Van Gisbergen quite a bit as an underdog pick because every time we go in oval, he tends to start off very slow but gets better as the race progresses and goes on. And last week at Pocono, he was really, really fast. He had a top 10 car near the end of the event. Yes, strategy helped out, but he had a chance to get his first top 10, or his 3rd or 4th top 10 or something like that of this season. I think SVG is going to have a really strong run this week, and I think he's going to have a chance for a top 10. I think the pace and speed will be there, and I think SVG will have a very solid and good run this weekend at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My second underdog pick for this week in Indianapolis is a driver of the 48 car for Big Machine Racing, Parker Kligerman. Parker Kligerman has not ran in Indianapolis, I think, since 2018 or 2019, if I'm not mistaken. But Parker's been pretty decent at the racetrack in the past. And I think Parker actually will have a pretty good run. Parker's been quietly having a solid year. I think he's sitting 7th or 8th in the regular season standings and is pretty much almost locked in on points to the playoffs at this point. I think Parker Kligerman's going to have a really solid performance once again, and I think he'll do a pretty great job this weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the 48 car. And now we're going ahead and jump on to the winner's pick for this weekend's Pennzoil 250. Who is my winner's pick? Historically, the drivers that are up front contending for the wins and victories, they tend to be in some of the fastest cars. And I think drivers that are going to be championship contenders are going to be the guys going for the victory. The driver who I'm picking to win this weekend at Indianapolis is a driver's 7 car for Junior Motorsports, Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier won this track back in 2018, is one of the few drivers that has ran at this racetrack in the Xfinity Series. I think Justin Allgaier will be a threat for the win. I think he will get it done this weekend. It seems like Justin Allgaier has been one of the most consistent and fastest drivers all year. He's led a ton of laps, but just hasn't been able to close it out throughout the events. I think Justin Allgaier is going to get it done this weekend. I think he will pick up his second win of 2024 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And now we're going ahead and jump onto the drivers you need to watch out for this week in Indianapolis. Who should you have your eyes out on? The first driver you should watch out for this weekend in Indianapolis is a driver of the 81 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith started the year off extremely well, but he's been very inconsistent throughout the second half of the year. But I think Chandler Smith's going to have a good chance and opportunity to go to victory lane. Joe Gibbs Racing has been really great at this racetrack over the years, and I think Chandler Smith will have no exception. I think he's going to have a good chance and opportunity. I think he will be a threat for the win this weekend at Indianapolis. The second driver you should watch out for this weekend in Indianapolis is a driver of the 88 car for Junior Motorsports, Carson Quaffle. I think Carson Quaffle is going to have a really good chance to get it done this weekend. Every race he's ran so far, I think he's finished inside the top 15, and he's had a couple chances to win this season. I think Carson Quaffle is going to have a good chance and opportunity to get it done. I think the pace and speed is going to end up being there. I think Carson will be a major threat and contender for the win this weekend at Indianapolis. The third driver you should watch out for this weekend at Indianapolis is a driver of the 1 car for Junior Motorsports, Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer has definitely been inconsistent at times this year, but he's also had 2 victories. And I feel like this Sam Mayer, with his experience, I think he ran here back in 2019 or something like that. No, I don't think he was actually eligible to run, but he hasn't ran at this track before. I think Sam Mayer is going to have a good chance to win, though. He's obviously in a running to move up to the Cup Series next year. I think that winning this weekend at Indianapolis will really help his future. I think Sam Mayer will be a threat for the win this weekend at Indianapolis. The fourth driver to watch out for this weekend at Indianapolis is a driver of the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Eric Almirola. Eric Almirola makes his long-awaited return to Indianapolis after unfortunately having that altercation with Bubba Wallace in that competition meeting in the Toyota meeting. I think Eric Almirola is going to get asked a lot of questions about that over the weekend, but I do think Eric will be a threat for the win. I think he will have a car capable of winning. The 20 car has already won 4 or 5 races so far this year. I think Eric Almirola will be a major threat and contender for the win this weekend at Indianapolis. And the fifth final driver I think you should watch out for this weekend at Indianapolis is a driver of the 2 car for Richard Childress Racing, Jesse Love. Jesse Love has been very surprisingly amazing this year for his Sanders. Coming in this year, expectations were extremely low, but I think he's been surprisingly doing an amazing and great job. I think he's going to have a good chance to win. RCR has been pretty solid here in the track in the past. Of course, they won with Ty Dillon back in 2014. I think they've almost won a couple races in the past with Tyler Reddick as well. I think Jesse Love's going to have a good chance and opportunity, and I think he will be a threat for the win for sure this weekend at Indianapolis. So, those are my race picks for the 2024 Pennzoil 250. Just a reminder, my suck picks are Josh Berry, Joe Graf Jr. My underdog picks are SVG and Parker Kligerman. My winner's pick is Justin Allgaier. And the ones to watch out for, Chandler Smith, Carson Quaffle, Sam Mayer, Eric Almirola, and Jesse Love. Those are my race picks. So, that is going to be it for the Race 6 video for the 2024 Pennzoil 250 at Indianapolis. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, does go live on my channel. Follow me through Facebook and Instagram and support me on Patreon as well. Links below that and comment your picks below for this weekend in Indianapolis. Let me know your suck picks, let me know your underdog picks, let me know your winner's pick, and let me know your drivers you're watching out for this weekend in Indianapolis. Let me know your picks in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have the 2024 Brickyard 400 race picks. We're also going to have the paint schemes for the Brickyard 400. And then on Friday, we're going to have a NASCAR news video, most likely early in the morning. And we have reactions to the Truck Series race as well. Then on Saturday, we're going to have reactions to the Xfinity Series race, Xfinity Series qualifying, potentially Cup qualifying, and we're also going to have reactions to SVG's performance as well. And then, of course, on Sunday will be the Brickyard 400. Got a ton of great content dropping over the course of the next couple days that I cannot wait for you guys to check out as we return to Indianapolis. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.